Shalom. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and others of great millstone. Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham to the hopefully elect that scattered abroad. I just want to do this quick video. Its title here, it says, former tech executive says Trump's social media should be muted until the winner of the elections is determined. All right, because this whole political circus, man, it's nothing but a circus. All right. If you want to, if you want a good laugh, get into politics, right? But I'm just gonna get into this article real quick. Make a couple of points, and get into a few precepts. So, like I said, I want to make this long, so we can get right into it. It says a former Twitter and Google executive is advocating that the social media accounts of President Donald Trump should be muted while Americans are casting their vote until a winner of the election is determined. It says Peter Greenberger explained his position to CNN host Jake Tapper on his show Tuesday. You say Trump should be silenced on both platforms until the winner of the election is determined. That's a pretty extreme suggestion, Tapper said. Why do you say that? I agree it is, and extreme times demand extreme suggestions. I did not come to this opinion lightly. And it jumped on down and says, I believe that the tech companies generally have a responsibility to be neutral. I think in the neutral in the case, for their behalf, for their gain and their benefit, because, the pretty much, these things like the internet and all these things were set up to pretty much teach the truth, which is, this truth, man, is out there, all right, and all this information coming out. This is why they want to cut these, accounts off and close these accounts, and pretty much they want to shut the internet down and whatnot. All right, the famine of the word. So that's another topic. Reading on it says, I think in this case of Twitter specifically, it's been a great campaign of the democratization of information, as well as a strong supporter of freedom of expression, he explained. However, we are in a unique and I believe a fraught moment in time with a president who is desperate, and he's facing a very difficult situation, right? Because, let me read on. It says, Greenberger said, I think the time is to mute the president temporarily while votes are being cast right now and until the winner is decided. Tapper gave a backhanded defense of the president, saying that he was merely continuing his habit of tweeting conspiracy theories and false information. As you say, he has been, because that's one thing about this guy Trump, man. He might talk crazy, all right. But this guy, man, he's smarter than what a lot of people think, all right. And a lot of these elites, man, these guys up there, man, these Trump and all these people, all right, they speak a lot of code and whatnot. A lot of times Trump will say something, and it'll go right over a bunch of people's head. It'll go right over people's head, all right. But again, these elites, these guys like Trump and Hillary and all these guys, all right, they pretty much they're at war with one another, and this is why I say, just watching the back and forth with these Edomites, a kingdom that's divided against itself, it's gonna fall, so this place is bound to fall anyways. But nevertheless, like I said, because this back and forth with these elites, man, it's hilarious. If you want to watch a good comedy, get into politics, all right. Because this guy Trump, man, he's bringing out some stuff and some information that's bringing other elites down, and this back and forth. So now they're talking about shutting down his Twitter and Facebook and all these platforms and whatnot. It says, as you say, he has been a reckless poster on Twitter and on Facebook and other platforms. Agreed, Greenberger. However, it's time, I believe, that Twitter hold him accountable to the same terms and conditions, the same rules of the road that every other user is subject to. They have been wrestling with and tying themselves up in pretzels in an effort to try to accommodate the president. They have taken some very laudable steps, he continued. They were the first in act to start labeling some of the president's tweets as misinformation, he added. I think that was a very bold, important move, and they've gone so far. As of today, I believe turning off some of the key engagement features of the platform in order to slow down the calls of information. Because even Trump himself, well, let me finish this. It says he went on to cite a study saying the president and other leaders were the greatest purveyors of misleading information. The president has said that social media platforms like Twitter allow him to bypass the media and reach his supporters directly. Yeah, because again, a lot of these there's an agenda with a lot of these news networks like CNN. You know, you often hear about Trump calling CNN fake news and all these other news stations. All right, fake news. All right, because they all have an agenda, and pretty much it's like Trump. He's like on his own little thing, or whatever. Um, but yeah, so again, this is why he so he can basically his approach is to Twitter to reach his followers directly, and one of the things, well, one of the reasons I believe they're trying to cut cut his accounts out and everything is because this guy Trump, man, what did he tell the Proud Boys, the Pride Boys, what he told them to stand down and stand by, or whatever the case, right? Because with all this mayhem dealing with the elections, all right, Trump has been talking about how the elections could be rigged, and he often talked about how he pretty much he's not going to leave office if he loses the elections, he's not going to leave office, right? But with the thing with the whole elections, all right, they're talking about the mail-in ballots, right? And that in itself, it's been nothing but it's been nothing but a mess dealing with the ballots, all right. Because with the whole elections, certain ballots they might not be, they might not get in time, right? Because let's just say Trump wins the election, but they might not have all, they might get certain results in, and it may appear that Trump won by a landslide, but he can argue, or they can argue that all the ballots didn't come in time and whatnot, and Trump can easily tweet out pretty much how he could say something like nope, no, I won, that's it, the results are in, that's it, we're closing down shop, I won. Trump, he could do something like that, and that's not a far-fetched idea with this guy Trump, because again, he's doing everything in his power to stay in power. All right, like I said, he's not gonna he said something along the lines of, if he loses the elections, he's not gonna leave. He's gonna have the military, or he can use the military. Trump has been known for using the military at his leisure. All right, so I mean, again, again, it's just, this is just another one of those back and forth things with these elites. All right, because again, you know, um, hey man, if Trump, um, let's say if he's come election night, he's winning the elections, all right, and he could send out a tweet to and it might be in code, or whatever. You send out a tweet in code that's pretty much telling military troops and these Proud Boys and these different militia groups, because a lot of these militia groups, they're for Trump, if that's not obvious already. But he can easily send out a tweet to go around America and destroy these ballots, and attack these ballots, and these places that are holding, doing these ballots. Well, he can easily send out a Trump. It'll be all out chaos, basically. So this is why, or I believe this is why, they're talking about, shutting down his account or whatnot. But get a few precepts, because like I said, man, Trump, man, he can easily say something, and he's got these people are so dumbed down and docile, he can easily say something to um it'll be all out chaos, you know. So this is interesting to see how this plays out. But let me get this in Psalm 17 and 3. Yeah. It says, "Thou hast proved mine heart. Thou hast visited me in the night. Thou hast tried me and shall find nothing. I am purpose that my mouth shall not transgress." Actually, that's not what I wanted. No, that's not what I wanted. Slack it. That's not what I wanted. But basically, what I was looking for, because the scriptures pretty much talk about what I was looking for. Basically, it was going into let me get another precept. Let me get this in Isaiah 50. Not Isaiah. Psalms 59 and 12. Psalms 59 and 12. It says, "For the sin of their mouth and the words of their lips, let them even be taken in their pride, and for cursing and lying which they speak." Right? Because again, pretty much when Esau speaks, man, it's nothing but death, and nothing but confusion, chaos. All right, because like I said, Trump can easily put out a tweet, come not even the elections, he can send out a tweet. You know, it might say nothing, it might say one thing, but these elites, man, they talk in code, so it could say one thing, it can and he can be saying something completely. He could be sending a completely different message to the elites. All right, and again, just using an example again, coming election nights when they're doing the mail-in ballots and whatnot. All right, Trump might be winning by a landslide. But and yeah, Trump, he'll send out a tweet to pretty much destroy, send these guys out, these militia groups out and whatnot throughout America, and pretty much get rid of these ballots and pretty much call it a day, you know, and it'll be all hell all hell will break loose, either way, whether Trump wins or whether Biden wins, it's gonna be all hell either way it goes. But again, Trump is desperate. He's doing everything in his power to stay in power. All right. But again, just to show the back and forth with these devils, man. Let me get this in because these are supposed to be the wise men, right? Well, what did the scripture say? Let me get this in Isaiah. I'm gonna start at Isaiah 19. I'm gonna start at verse 12. Actually, verse 11. It says, "Surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings?" Yeah, because again, here it is. These people they're supposed to be the wise men, the leaders of this nation and whatnot, right? But here it is. They're pretty much they're acting like fools. Oh, they are fools. Because the wisdom of this world is foolish to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. And if you're in a position like that, especially if you're in a position where you're ruling over, the children of Israel, you got to deal according to Yahweh Bashem Shai's counsel and his law, statutes, and commandments, and in his ordinances. All right, ruling and judging in righteousness. But again, being that these devils, of course, they were set up to be contrary to Yahweh Bashem Shai. All right, they're fools. They don't believe in the laws and statutes and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Shai, and I believe that's Proverbs 14 and 1. Let me get it real quick. Yeah, it says the fool hath said in his heart, there is no power. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. So yeah, again, because for anyone not to believe in Yahweh Bashem Shai and the law, statutes, and ordinances that he has set up, you're a fool. All right, and again, these top elites, all the way on down to the lower elites, these Trumps and Clintons and Obamas, right? They're all fools. All right, they all, pretty much worship Satan. All right, they're all devils, right? Let me go back to Isaiah 19 to finish that out. Isaiah 19, that was at read verse 12. It says, "Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what Yahweh of hosts hath proposed upon Egypt. The princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Noph are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the staff of the tribes thereof." And pretty much, these were pretty much, pretty much the Donald Trumps, the Hillary Clintons, and the supposed to be wise men of that time. All right. But even today, all right, they're still just a bunch of idiots. All right. And let me get this in Jeremiah. So yeah, I mean, these people, man, it's just funny seeing these people go back and forth. Um, just in Jeremiah 10, and start at verse 6. It says, "For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Yahweh, thou art great, and thy name is great in might. Who would not fear thee, O King of nations? For to thee doeth it appertain, for as much as among all the wise men of the nations and all their kingdoms there is none like unto thee." All right, so again, because the wisdom of this world, all right, is foolish to Yahweh Shem Shah, but yet this is what these guys, they base their foundation off of. All right, the wisdom of this world, which again, it's not wisdom. All right, and this is why they'll never um succeed, fully to the full extent, because eventually, Yahweh Shah's coming very soon to destroy this place. All right, because again, if you're in any type of position, platform where you're ruling over and governing, all right, in any high position, all right, you're supposed to rule under the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Shai. All right, because when you apply these, when you apply Yahweh Bashem Shai's statutes, all right, you're always guaranteed going to be successful. All right, it's perfect counsel, it's perfect wisdom and perfect understanding. All right. So, with that, if you apply what the Lord has set up, you're never going to fail. You'll never lose. All right. You won't have these type of situations where you have, divisions amongst your kingdom. All right. Your family structure, anything, in any situation, in any matter. If you apply Yahweh Shem Shai's wisdom, you're always going to succeed. You're always going to, everything's going to be perfect. Right. Um, Verse 8 says, "But they are altogether brutish and foolish. The stock is a doctrine of vanity." So you see, it's all, it's all just a bunch of garbage at the end of the day. There's science, they're false science and ideologies and whatnot. Because again, these devils, man, they're so puffed up. They think that Yahweh Shem Shai's laws and statutes and commandments aren't good enough. So this is why they, come up with their own stuff. They pick certain things, what they want to use out of the Bible to their advantage, but they come up with their own, you know, laws and their own manual, basically their own blueprints, because they don't believe in the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai. That's why you have things like the Georgia Guidestones, right? And all these other knockoff laws and commandments, right? And this is why you're gonna have, like I said, these divisions amongst these Edomites. These Edomites have pretty much always been at war with one another, from the Greeks, the Romans. All right. Um, so again, this is why the scriptures refer to these people as they're fools. You know. But again, I mean, it's just interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. There's a lot of speculation to what can take place. Um, there's a scripture in let me see if I can find it real quick. with me if I can see if I can find this. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't. I just went over this the other day. If I can't find it, I'll just go ahead and end it off. Um, oh man, it's at the tip of my tongue, but I can't make it out. I can't make it out. But yeah, I can't make it out. But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, this is interesting to see how this plays out. These devils going back and forth with one another. All right. Um, Curious to see how Trump reacts. How he acts. To this situation, closing down his. And they were talking about pretty much banning most advertisements dealing with Trump and his whole campaign and dealing with the elections. All right. So again, just to see how that plays out, because either way, man, it's going to be all hell is going to break loose either way. That's what we're patiently waiting for, hoping for, and we're going to be on the lookout. So with that, I'm gonna give all credit to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, shalom.